is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Andre, how you doing, man?
I didn't have better weeks. I didn't have better weeks.
Yeah, me too, man. I feel you on that. So what you been playing, man?
Well, thanks to my lovely child wiping the drive on my Wii U, and I was going to say Xenoblade Chronicles X, but that that got that got destroyed in the culling of the universes. So I was back on Mass Effects for a little bit,
Mm,
and actually House of the Dead Overkill because
okay,
that needed some time and some love.
okay, all right. Yeah, I jumped on Tekken 8. I'm enjoying the hell out of that game. Jumped back into Astral Chain and still going through Prince of Persia, just taking my time on that. So that's pretty much all I've been doing this weekend for the most part. But okay, so we had some stuff that we are going to talk about, but some stuff just dropped, so we kind of made a little bit of change to some stuff. Um, so apparently, there's a rumor going around that Hi-Fi Rush is not the only thing that's getting um, the, I guess we could call it limited exclusivity thing. Apparently, Starfield is too. And here's the thing: so Starfield is rumored allegedly to be going to PS5 now, along with Hi-Fi Rush, which is allegedly going to PS5 and Switch. Now, Hi-Fi Rush, to be honest, probably should have went everywhere to begin with, just because. And we've said this before. I don't think the Xbox gaming crowd, that's their type of game. Hell, they didn't even like
Yeah,
freaking Sunset Overdrive. So
they're they're just not set. They're not set up for those style of games. Unfortunately, it's going to take a good long while to build up that type of audience
yeah,
with
and
that particular crowd.
and to be fair, Microsoft, you're to blame for that. You're to
Oh yeah,
blame
they
for
definitely are.
that. So that's why buying all those companies, while it probably saved some of them, because I don't think them buying all them companies was universally bad, because some of them was about to get shut down anyway because they couldn't afford it. Games just cost too
Yeah.
much. So it wasn't universally bad, but I think being in all honesty, like some of those games, they probably should be on everything. And like I at this point, I truly believe that Microsoft, as far as gaming is concerned, is like, look, if we can make this money, we'll make this money anywhere.
Yeah.
Is that exactly a bad thing? Depends on how you look
Some
at it.
ways yes.
Yeah,
Some ways yes. Some ways no.
I think it just depends on how you look at it. Depending on the crowd, like Starfield, for instance, that game was supposed to come to PS5 initially anyway, from what
Hmm.
I understand, and PS4, wasn't it? Because initially it was PS4, so that game was supposed to go there anyway. I mean, I don't see what the problem is as far as that's concerned. Now, Microsoft has always said they ain't afraid of money because they put Minecraft everywhere when they really didn't have to. Because Minecraft was
Oh no,
making
they could
money
have
like that
definitely been free with
regardless.
that.
Yeah, Minecraft's making money regardless, so they didn't have to put Minecraft everywhere. They did. Um, Now, once again, I don't think Microsoft cares about exclusivity like that. The only company that actually cares about exclusivity, honestly, is Nintendo. I don't even think Sony cares at this point, because if Sony really did care, like Activision would have never got Spyro and Crash. If we're
Nope.
being honest, I mean, and before anybody started saying, "Oh well," Sony has all this, I'm like, look, they won't even bring back like Sly and Jack and any of that other stuff. So, I mean, everybody, because look, I've been getting mad at Nintendo for keeping stuff under wraps. Especially, I would love for them to bring Kid Icarus, at least Uprising, poor Uprising, over the Switch, but they're not going to do
Yeah.
that. Golden Sun. How long people been clamoring for a Golden Sun game?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So at this point, I'm just like, okay, if if this is true, I don't see it as a bad thing, just because of how Xbox is like Microsoft has cultivated their gaming crowd. I'm like, this actually makes sense from a business standpoint because you want to maximize your profit. It's still a business, and
Yep,
I don't
exactly that.
Halo or Gears of War going anywhere. So I just don't see that happening. I don't see you. I don't see us. The most we're gonna get from Halo is to a Nintendo fans probably Smash if they put put Master Chief in the next Smash game, which I can see that happening. I honestly because I
Mm,
what happened this time. To be fair,
well, I could see them doing that and then sliding both of the Halo Wars games on Nintendo because that's not mainline Halo.
yeah, it's not mainline, yeah, but you know the thing about like I don't see them putting like mainline Halo and Gears anywhere else outside of PC, and that's because
Yeah.
mainly it's PC, it's them, so that's still them. So I think we're still gonna have exclusivity of some of the main stuff, but like the third party stuff, like your Activision, the stuff like Activision and uh Activision and uh yeah, the Bethesda make that's probably going to go everywhere. Probably after a year. Probably after a year,
Yeah.
it probably come everywhere, just because they're going to try to maximize profit.
Hmm.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to maximize profit. I mean, I don't blame them. I'm like, if I'm looking at it from a business standpoint, yeah, I'm trying to maximize my profit, and if that's what I got to do it, then cool. That's why I be. Why y'all think I'm always making fun of Capcom?
They got so many IP that they don't do nothing with.
And will not make them. As a matter of fact, they won't make them so bad. They'll make something else exoprimal and still won't.
Instead of Dino Crisis.
Yeah, instead of Dino Crisis. So, like I said, I don't. Yeah, I don't see it as totally a bad thing. Totally, because they've bought so many companies. Why would you not make sure you maximize your profit? I, they did that, and once again, they cultivated their fan base to not like half the games that those people they bought.
They Yeah, they did.
They cultivated that. So I can't. At this point, I'm just looking at them like, yeah, that makes business sense.
I'm like, hey, Microsoft, I might as well go ahead and slide Lost Odyssey over as well, since we know that y'all don't really have much of a turn-based RPG crowd.
No, you don't. I mean, people. But now I will give people. Well, I can't even say that because the only place I really see people clamoring for is Twitter. They don't clamor for that game everywhere else.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, uh, uh. but RJ, I see your point there. RJ says like in a way, it kind of sees this as kind of being a bad thing for Microsoft going semi third party because Nintendo, well, really Sony doesn't have they have a competitor at this point. Yeah, they don't.
Counterpoint,
That's a fair point.
counterpoint to that though. Counterpoint.
All right, what's that?
If they go back to Nintendo again, that would mean that their budgets would start to decrease. They probably sell more games, and on top of that, they'd have a wider variety. So for Sony, that would probably be better.
Yeah, Sony should have never tried to keep up with Microsoft.
No, they shouldn't have. And
They,
that's
they
that's how they got to the point of having their budgets be over $100 million per game.
and they had to sell off most of their divisions, but we ain't gonna get into that.
So much stuff they lost.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, y'all ain't no $1 trillion company, bro. Y'all just ain't. But yeah, 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 because right now the only people who really got the exclusivity game on lock is Nintendo, because they stuff ain't going nowhere else unless you
Let,
are a
let,
hip hop gamer and you believe that a couple PC people told you it's true.
no, 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 no. Hip hop grifter.
My
We're
bad,
gonna
hip hop
say it.
grifter.
We're gonna say it right.
Yeah, hip hop grifter. My bad.
I mean, you just from these rando companies, but you don't go to the source of where these rumors are supposed to be pointing towards. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, basically. So it is what it is. But yeah, love to hear you guys' thoughts. So, hey, when you have a chance, just put it in the comment. Let's talk about it there too. Going on to the next one. I found this out last week, and I wanted to ask you guys because I found out during the podcast last week. So Square Enix is set to absorb Tokyo RPG Factory and all its assets. Now, Tokyo RPG Factory made the games I Am Setsuna, Oninaki, Lost Sphere. I think those are the three that I know of.
I'm so worried about those properties never seeing the light of day again.
Yeah.
Is
Um.
this how many times has Square Enix absorbed something and
And
then everything that was created by them just disappeared?
yeah. And the sad thing about it is, I love Tokyo RPG Factory because their games are challenging without being frustrating to me. And like Oninaki, that game, man, that game, the themes got deep in there, man. But yeah, I'm scared because that is a good team. But on the flip side of that, if what they said is true, that they're going to be scaling back on those big 100+ million big budget projects, then maybe that's why they absorbed them to like help like with Team Asano them getting smaller games out.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm for it. But hmm, Square Enix has a bad rep when it comes
They
to
have a very bad rep. They have a very
that.
they
They have a
really have
horrible
a
rep.
very bad rep. So yeah, at this point I'm on the more of the worried side, I should say, because we have to see what they do now. If they really are true to their word about wanting to like you know cut back on the big budget because that stuff it just ain't making money like that. That's why I'm really
No,
kind
it
of a little bit worried about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But I have noticed one
ain't.
thing: they ain't no OVA with it, they ain't no movie, they ain't all this other stuff. It's just the game. Have you noticed
They
that?
said, "No, we ain't producing a whole TV series to go along with the game this time,
Mm-mm.
or comic book,
or
or
manga
a
or anything like that.
musical."
It's just the game. Now I don't know if they have a special edition with Cloud on the bike again or whatever with figure arts, but I all I've ever seen to up to
No,
this
no,
point is just the game. So
it needs
I'm
to
like,
be a special with for
hey man, you might
on
you're
that
going. You sound like RoboCop again.
crap. Oh,
But yeah, that's one thing I will say. I am glad that we at this point, you know, as far as Final Fantasy VII is concerned, they're just putting the game to the forefront. Also, don't forget we got that on February 6th, I think it is. They are doing another state of play specifically for Rebirth. So I think that was going to be like 6 p.m. or something like that. I need to check the time on that, but I'll do a live reaction to that as well, just to because I am interested in seeing what they do. I'm not getting the game though, but I am interested to see what they're going to do with it. Just because it's kind of interesting to see what they do, and that'll be that. Uh, you guys know that there was a Sony State of Play last week. That we did a live reaction for it. Uh, I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought that they did a pretty decent job. I was blown away by Raza Ronan and Stellar Blade. And when Andre gets back, we're gonna have to talk about Stellar Blade a little bit, just because there's some foolishness that came out about around that one too. But so we got Xbox had their developers direct. We had Sony had a state of play, and we're about to get another one, basically a Treehouse Live for Final Fantasy Rebirth. Usually February, March is when Nintendo does theirs. So I'm thinking that maybe yeah, we're doing that discussion. RJ. But yeah, I'm thinking because uh well, Princess Peach drops March 22nd. So, is it going to be sometime this month, or is it going to be in the beginning of March? Andre, you think so? What?
Well, hold on, because I came back in the middle of that, so
The
I gotta get up.
when do we think what would we like to see for the next Nintendo Direct, and when do you think it's going to drop?
Oh, next Nintendo Direct's probably gonna drop next week on Thursday, because they got a problem with early morning Thursdays dropping directs for some fucking reason.
Oh yeah, that is
Um,
right. They do that.
yeah, we'll probably get more info on the Princess Peach game, any confirmation of Hi-Fi Rush if it's coming, um, and probably a surprise drop Metroid game since they haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they drop 2 and 3 at this point. If they do that, knowing them. Um, yeah, because Nintendo got to do it. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Just so y'all know, we just dropped Metroid Prime Remaster 2 and 3. If y'all want it, it's live now.
On the eShop, $30 a pop.
You're like, what the? I don't get paid till So yeah, I'm expecting at least one shadow drop at least.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think it's probably going to be, if it's not next week, probably be Valentine's Day, knowing them. Um, just uh, because I think they're
They
gonna have to
petty.
they're gonna have to do something because like Princess Peach is what their big game, because I don't see that Mario DK game as being a big title. It
No, that's not relevant. It's not a big title, but it would definitely be important title.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm seeing Princess Peach is probably the one they want to make sure they, uh, put front and center. Just in case. At least that's my thinking going into it. And plus, there's probably going to be a couple other big releases coming in the first half of the year because they love to do that. They just love to do that. Um, so yeah, there is that. I have no idea, so I don't. Y'all know me. I like to make fun of rumors sometimes, and I just don't have an idea because last year I didn't even know we was getting Metroid Prime until I got off from work and I was like, "Yeah, don't watch it yet. Just go to eShop." I'm like, "Go to eShop for what?" Went to the eShop. I'm like, "Y'all dead." I'm like, "Nintendo, y'all dead wrong for this." So, um, with the physical version coming later, because they're gonna do that too. Which I am totally here for. By the way, I'm really totally here for that. All right, so Sony State of Play, and I didn't care for Death Stranding. I don't care for Death Stranding. And um, at this point, I am getting tired of seeing Kojima. If I'm being completely honest, and the reason
Hmm.
why I say that is because between Jeff Keighley and you know him not having a game to show, but people are acting like, oh my god, he just told us that this is the best thing ever. And like, he ain't show you nothing. You don't even know if the game
Nope.
even started yet. And y'all are acting like he just released the game of the year for the next 10 years. Like, I it really kind of, I'm like, dude, and I didn't even care for Death Stranding like that. I know some people praise it. I played it and I thought it was okay. I just thought it was okay. I didn't. It's kind of like Last of Us with me. I'm like, yeah, it's an okay game. I didn't love it or go crazy for it, but I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of getting tired of Kojima just because of, and not it's the Batman situation. I love Batman as a character. I hate Batman fans. I don't mind Kojima. I hate Kojima's fans at this point because Kojima's fan base is just like, bruh, y'all need to take a chill pill, man. It really ain't that serious. Like you haven't seen anything and you're salivating. Man, you all right?
Apparently, everybody believes. Yeah, kids pulling stuff apart.
Oh,
Apparently, everybody believes that just because Kojima's on it is going to be the best thing ever.
yeah. I mean, all right. And but you know, we did get a surprise in the Silent Hill game that was a Is it? Was that a demo? I don't. The short
Well,
message game is supposed to be like I
the
don't know what
sh-
it is, but
the short game is supposed to be just something that's free to play, and then they're remaking Silent Hill 2. I don't see why, but hey, that's what they're doing.
wasn't they supposed to be remaking one of them anyway? Or at least that was the
I
rumor
think
was
they,
before
I
it
think
started.
they were, I think they were trying to bring. Well, they were trying to make up for the fact that when they did that remastered collection for 2 and 3, that since they didn't have the source code for the final game, and they used the beta and they screwed up.
Oh, okay. So that's what that was. All right. All right. Well, look, I thought that was actually interesting how they did until I found out like the message game was like, oh, I see what they're doing. So
Yeah.
you want to talk about Stellar as Jack said it, Stellar Stellar Buns. Look, I'm just gonna look the sexualization committee that loves to get mad every time they show a female character. I don't remember anybody getting mad about shirtless Sephiroth. Nobody
Nope.
complains about Cosmo being half butt naked. And
No.
I don't know how many times I saw women thirsting over Ganondorf so much so to the point there were certain people in my midgets basically saying that if he told them to burn down Hyrule, they go grab fire arrows.
I mean, and it did come out in the interview that Nintendo made him that way on purpose. So
They basically
nobody
made him the
complained
Rock.
about that either.
They basically made him
Nope.
the Rock. I mean, he got a big damn Samoan tat on the left side of his chest. I'm like, bro, what the hell?
But the thing is,
Look, who's
nobody complained about them purposefully making him that way.
yeah, nobody complained about it. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so now what we have is we have a Bayonetta situation and a near automata situation where people have taken screenshots of certain angles, and in gameplay, you're probably not even gonna see that because that
Now, unless you
gameplay,
sitting,
yeah, not unless
you
you're
have to be sitting
doing
there
it on
focusing
purpose.
on it.
Yeah. So because like when I watched the state of play, that gameplay looked fast. Like she's
Yeah,
flipping all over the place. So it's just like Bayonetta with that. Like Bayonetta's moveset is fast. Like, yeah, she does sexualized movements because that's part of her, playful nature.
that's why her personality.
Yeah, it's
It's
part of her
just who she
personality.
is.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, hell, Ivy's a dominatrix in Soul Calibur.
Mm. But when I was looking at the gameplay, her movements didn't seem like she was doing any sort of sexualized moves with intention. If it happened, it was just organic to how she was moving.
Yeah, like she was doing a backflip and she landed and she had a
Yeah,
skirt on.
so you would have to be of a dirty mind to be thinking that there's something sexual about it because
Yeah.
she wasn't doing anything sexual.
No, she wasn't. I mean, it could be worse. She could be Bayonetta in the Princess Peach outfit. Y'all remember that one?
Ugh.
but
The trouble that would cause.
now the other part of this is allegedly, and I had to say allegedly because I don't know. Um, uh, this came out last week as well after people started posting those screenshots, basically asserting that there was two women fired from the team allegedly for essentially having an issue with character sexualization, and I'm like, wait a minute, um, why didn't this come out sooner if this is true? Because like over in Japan, like I remember when people got mad about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Bayonetta, and people found out that the artists were all women.
Mm. And Xenoblade Chronicles X because they had the bust slider.
Yeah, so they were the because people assumed it was men drawing like that, and I remember when Kamiya brought old girl out during the Bayonetta 2 direct, and that was the lead artist.
That kind of shut a lot of people up.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where, and you know how I feel about this, especially in regards to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, when we had people talking about how this is all the sexualization going on, and some of the same people, as soon as 3 came out, all I saw was ass shots of Uni.
which you would think at this point, if there's go, I don't care if somebody determines that a character is sexy or not. Like that's a personal thing to you yourself.
Yeah,
My only issue is that it comes down to, does it take away from the character if they are? If
and most
it
time it
doesn't,
doesn't.
what does it matter?
And most time it doesn't. Like, I mean, it doesn't. That's why I'm like, I'm my problem with Stellar Blade was I'm like I'm getting serious near automata vibes from this. That was my problem. Like,
I
are they
can see that.
plagiarizing?
I can see that, but my biggest problem was, even though Stellar Blade looks somewhat fast, it also looks slow in comparison to other games in the same genre.
Yeah, I would love to have like a treehouse lot for that one as well. Um, Trinell, yes, they did. They did. They did because it's her and it's
Yeah,
somebody else that they used. It's that they're models and
yeah.
they're really popular. But
But
the thing is,
there's
I'm like,
also,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's also another facet to this. The character has multiple different outfits that she can wear during the game.
Yeah,
So if you don't want that for your experience, guess what you can do?
change the
Put her in
outfit.
a different outfit.
Yeah, I mean, hell, when I'm playing Bayonetta 2, I usually wear the Link outfit, the Legend of Zelda outfit, or the
Solves all your problems.
yeah, or the Star Fox outfit because I like using the R-wing blasters. So I mean, once again, I think it's people telling on themselves and trying to hide it as, oh, look at how they're treating. I'm like, dude, no, bro, that's not it. Because like you had like I said, if you go and look at those screenshots, there's no way in the world if you watch the actual state of play when they did that. Because there's one where she's fighting, looks like a mid boss, does a backflip off, and that's the main one that people are seeing. I'm like, that sequence, that person had to be screenshotting real fast to get it because the flip happens and she goes to the next move.
Yeah,
Like,
she doesn't stay in that position for more than like half a second.
yeah, she does it. So I'm like, you had to be hitting screenshot to try to get that specific pose because like she hits the ground and moves to another thing. And yes, she's in a
Well,
skirt, but then they show her in other outfits. So like you said, change the doggone outfit. And on top of that, it's not an E for everyone game.
no, it ain't. It is not.
So you should be an adult. You should be adult enough to be able to handle that. But as we know, with
My
most
my
gamers,
thing
they're
is
not.
my thing is though, if everybody can see blood and guts and see things being ripped open and torn apart, why does the character's outfit, or potentially the side shot of a butt cheek, bother everyone?
Yeah, and not not the 15 minutes of unadulterated violence that happened before that.
I mean, she's sitting there ripping things apart, cutting shoulders and heads off. But hey, you see a slip of an upskirt shot, there's a problem in the world.
Oh, dude, I will never forget when Bayonetta 2 dropped on the Wii U. I got into an argument on Facebook about this woman tried to tell me that she's completely naked. You see everything. I'm like, you don't see anything. You see her back. You see her arms. You don't see anything because the hair is moving around her. And then I'm like, if you wear a different outfit, you don't see anything. You see the outfit as the hair is moving around. So you're not telling the truth. Then she was then of course the White Knights came in to be like I was being misogynistic and saying that. I'm like, dude, it's an M-rated game because she tried to use it. It's a Nintendo's a kiddie console situation. I'm like, lady, that's an M-rated game. If you as a parent allow your child to play that, that's a you issue, not a Nintendo issue.
That's a big problem on you.
Yeah, that's not a Nintendo issue. That's a you issue, and that says a lot about you as a parent, not
Wait, hold
them.
on. Did people forget that Nintendo used Playboy to promote that game?
Yep. Do people not remember that Nintendo still own Love Hotels?
Or where they gave out condoms for Conker's Bad Fur Day being
Yeah.
shown off at one E3?
Uh huh.
And beer.
And
Condoms and
beer.
beer.
Uh huh. But I'm supposed to believe. See, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trinell, on that.
Chanel, here's my problem with like people keep talking about strong female leads in games. I'm like, dude, there's always been strong female leads in games. The problem
No,
is people get mad when the female don't look like them. I'm like, bruh, I can't help you with that. Samus
every,
has never been there.
what you know what the people what people are looking for, and it's sad because it's based off that stupid commercial. But they're looking for a bunch of female characters with masculine features. But
Which
the problem is there are already games with that in them. So why does it matter?
and the other thing too is a lot of times if people want you can get mad if you want to, but truth like rain don't care who follow them. Nobody gonna buy that.
Look,
Nobody gonna
unless
buy that.
that game is unless that game is really really good, yeah, nobody's gonna buy it.
Nobody's gonna buy it. You're gonna have to convince people to buy it, and like you can't sell it like that. It's kind of like the situation with like I'm a comic book fan. I love comics. Um, it's not wrong to say that the majority of black people do not read comics. They'll watch the TV show, they'll watch the movie.
Hmm.
They don't read the source material.
Yeah,
I can't get mad at Marvel and DC if they don't have a lot of black characters. I can't get mad at them because we don't show up to buy the books. That's the truth. I love Storm to death. Every time Storm's had her own solo book I've bought, they never last because people don't buy them. I can't
nope.
turn around and get mad. I can't. So
Which sucks for her because
she's a great character.
you, you
Hey, Andre, I think you went out again. I hear your
ah,
kids. I just don't hear you.
you probably heard them over me.
Oh, there you go.
Storm is literally a mutant goddess, and her in the comics she does so many great things. But when every other version of media out there, it's like she's barely anything.
Yeah, which is ludicrous to me. Which is why, once again, I know people are mad at the MCU. The one thing I'm hoping for is they get X-Men right. That's it. That's my only. That's my only thing. But that's why I'm like, okay. And I remember when I can't believe I'm about to say this lady name, but I remember when Sarkeesian came out and did her whole drift, and I'm like, she's lying. She doesn't play
Yep,
video games because I'm like the stuff she was talking about. I'm like, they're there. You just don't like the games they're in,
exactly.
and that's not. There's there have always been strong female characters in games. You just don't either A, you don't like the game, B, you probably don't like the premise of the game because Japan don't care about your feelings when it comes to stuff like that. That's why I've always found it funny that people be trying to say something. Japan don't care because, like, yeah, they stopped bringing Dead or Alive beach volleyball over here because they got tired of hearing y'all mouth. It's still in Japan. Dead or Alive beach volleyball is still in Japan. Like,
I said if you really want, they can import it.
yeah, basically. So it's one of those situations. I'm like, dude, like you, yeah, are would you? My thing is say what you mean. Hey, I want a character that I can relate to. I can't relate to Samus. I can't relate to Chun Li. I can't relate to Kasumi. I can't relate to these characters. I can't relate to them. I can't relate to Lindis. I can't relate to those characters. I can't relate to Zelda. I can't relate to Impa.
Half, half the time, people can't relate to the characters just based on how they look, but they don't base their ability to relate to the characters on the character of the characters.
Yeah, they don't. That's another thing too, because I've had these arguments with people about Zelda because they think Zelda is a weakling because she doesn't wield the sword. I'm like, if you played that game with Zelda as a character, it would be OP till you get to the end. She'd be OP till you get to the end, and then Ganondorf will probably one shot her because she can't beat Ganondorf head up on her own as far as the story is concerned.
Nope.
And ever since Ocarina of Time, Link can't beat Ganondorf head up one on one. He always has had help. Twilight Princess, he had help from Zelda. Wind Waker had help from Zelda. Ocarina of Time had help from Zelda. He's always had help from Zelda. Oh wow,
Only
had help
time,
from Zelda.
only, the only time he's really gone head up with Ganondorf by himself was when Ganondorf was in a weakened state.
Yep, he's always had help with like they've had to team up. So yes, if you played as Zelda, if you know the lore of Legend of Zelda, if you play the game as Zelda, it'll be boring until the end.
It will be like, I guess the best way to say it, be like playing the game as One Punch Man.
Yeah, basically. And once again, and I hate. I think it's funny because you can tell when people don't know the lore to games and stuff like that. Because when we start trying to explain to it, they ultimately get really mad because you know
They get
they've
mad and
never played
offended.
it. Yeah, they've never played it and they don't know the lore. So then they try to tell you you're gatekeeping. I'm like, no, I'm explaining to you why
I mean,
you're basically basing your stuff off of an ideal that isn't true.
if hold on, if giving you information is gatekeeping, then what are you doing when you block said information?
Yeah, because yeah, yeah,
Wait,
man, you
you going to call a spade a spade? Zodia, you know you wrong for
you dead wrong for that too. You dead wrong for that. Then he
that,
evolved into a beta. Really, bro?
bro. I guess hold on, I guess that makes Dante a beta.
Yep.
People hate that statement. That would make Dante from Devil May Cry a beta.
Yeah. Basically, that'll make most of the characters a beta.
That makes Super Mario a beta. That makes Sonic the Hedgehog a beta. Shadow the Hedgehog is a beta.
Yeah.
Uh, Knuckles,
Beta.
Silver. Um,
Beta. So that
look,
man, that was funny.
if we went through the whole list, people would be pissed off how many characters would technically be betas because of that thing.
Yeah. Trinell, you were absolutely right. That's the whole point. Except with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think they changed that a little bit because Link doesn't have his Triforce shard, so there's that. But yeah, it's supposed to be the three traits in balance. That's why, yeah, power can overrun courage and wisdom if it's 1-on-1. That's why they have to team up to take on power because
Mm.
Ganondorf is not just a master swordsman; he's a master sorcerer as well. He's both of them. If you go by Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess,
And,
this Ganondorf in
and a
Tears of the
technical,
Kingdom, he just he just
he just
OJ.
mm, that man a menace.
Yeah,
But in a technical sense, each version of Ganondorf, and I mean Ganondorf, not Ganon the pig, but
yeah,
Ganondorf, the human form of him, has technically had. He's technically, even though he's always had the triforce of power, he's always had parts of the essence of the other two.
yeah. Which is why I would love for them to make a spin-off game to chronicling the 7 years that Link was asleep. If you want Zelda to be the main character that bad, because that's the perfect way to do it. Andre, who would you get to do that game?
If I was, well, depending on which route we going, if we're going to go the Sheik route, then I'll probably get Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go on the Ganondorf route, Team Ninja.
Team Ninja,
Yep.
because that's what I would do. Since everybody wants to play as Zelda, because I believe the people that are clamoring for playing the game as Zelda would not buy it.
No, they wouldn't. Except for those of us that actually care about the series. The other
Me,
people, no, they wouldn't buy
I'd
it.
be there. I'd be there day one because I know how dope she is. Um, but the other people, I don't think they buy it. I really
No, they
don't.
wouldn't.
They
Like
just running their mouth.
how many people got exposed this generation alone just on Metroid?
Ooh, David Jaffe. I still think that's funny the pettiness of Nintendo for that. But yeah,
I'd have done the same thing.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, I that's one of those situations where I would love to see like because I a link from Skyward. No, well, it depends on how you think about it. From a fighting standpoint, The most powerful version of him is Twilight Princess, as far as Link is concerned.
Individually, I'd argue between Twilight Princess and the first Link that we actually don't play as.
Yeah, you mean the very first one, the hero, the very first hero.
Yeah, the one that
'Cause-
wore the red scarf.
yeah, and the the one that took on Demise like head up 1v1, and Demise like stay down, bro, damn.
He could not get that man to stay down for nothing.
Like nigga, how many times I gotta stab you? Like,
And I would, and if beneath those two, then I would place Breath of the Wild Link.
yeah. And the only reason I say Twilight Princess is Twilight Princess Link is that version of Link where if you
That
cross,
motherfucker savage
he's
as
not
hell.
playing with you no more. If you cross Twilight Princess Link, you're not gonna live to see the end, to see the next day.
Yeah, you would not,
Yeah,
but especially when you mess with his friends.
yeah. You just signed your death warrant, so you did death certificate. So that's why I would say that. The hero, I wish we could get a game about him, but I don't
I
know.
want that game. I
Because
want to
that would have
see
to be a
that.
Team
Like,
Ninja or a Platinum game. Because like that's the only way. Because there has to be a straight up action game.
I want to see the. I want to see that battle with that Lincoln demise. That had to be one of the best fights.
Yeah,
It had to be.
yeah. But hell, I love the Skyward Sword Link versus Demise. That Link because that's Link got so pissed off. He ran a gauntlet just to get to that dude.
It's just like it was like everything that got in front of him. Like y'all, you know what? We done with y'all. I'm done with y'all.
Like, okay, y'all thought I was playing. I bet. So
He hacking and slashing people, bowling people into each other.
yeah, because it was basically him versus what 200, I think it was. So
That's a lot of anger.
yeah, yeah, a
That's a
lot
lot
of
of anger
anger.
to putting somebody's soul. A lot of anger like that for him to be that mad that he goes to an army to get to you.
Yeah. So I would love for them to do. There's three side stories I would love for them to do. That one with the original hero that doesn't have that his name's not Link. It's just they just call him the hero because Hylia pretty much set him up. Uh, I would love a game where you either play as Zelda or as Ganondorf during the 7 years that Link was asleep in Ocarina of Time, and I would love a horror game about the Bongo Bongo and the kid in the well from Ocarina because that
Uh,
story, Capcom, y'all love doing over the shoulder cameras. Do that,
Kakariko Village after
yeah,
dark.
and that you can turn that one into the what pissed off the Sheikah to put the tear
Ac-
on the eye.
Actually, it'd be cool to get a side story about the Lost Woods and how it became so haunted.
That would be too. Wind Waker Link is crazy.
Yeah, I say he's more crazy than powerful.
Yeah, he's crazy. Like I mean, you kind of saw it in the game. Like this dude about to rush that bird with no way of flying. Yeah, so Wind Waker Link is more of on the like, okay, I gotta go get that person, and they right there. But there's a volcano underneath you. Don't matter. That's what that's that link. That's Wind Waker Link. I mean, and yeah, he did kind of do that, but you gotta remember Ganondorf was catching him during that fight. Ganondorf was catching him, dude. So I
Uh,
mean, that's why I was like, yeah. Oh yeah, the stab in the head. And remember, kids, this was an E10 game. This was an E10
he,
very
he definitely turned that man into a sheath with a sword.
yeah, and it went in. It was like almost to the hit. It was to the mid part of the blade. I'm like, bro, Nintendo. I'm looking at the box. It says E10.
There's E10, not homicide.
But Wind Waker is one of those games where like the story, if you that story is dark, gets dark as I don't know what, because like what Ganondorf did to the sages, like, bruh, okay, You,
That's why I think the only Ganondorf that tops him is the one from Tears of the Kingdom. Cause
yeah,
gosh,
yeah. Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf just like, bruh, I don't even care no more. I'm just gonna kill y'all. I don't even care no more. Like,
he's like,
bet, bruh.
it was like the Queen of Hyrule got what power?
I,
All right, so that means I need to stab her and take her power.
I'll just take this. Like, so yeah. Nightwolf, I don't think ESRB be playing any of them games, dude. Because you be like, especially the GameCube games, because there's a lot of games that I was like, E10 and not teen. This should be teen. Why is this E10? But yeah, I've always found it to be hilarious, especially when it comes to like Nintendo. I've always thought that to be hilarious how the ESRB be so wrong when you actually play in the game. You're like, oh, or any Kirby game for that matter, because everybody knows if you play the Kirby game, the last half of that game, the back half of that game turns into some crazy body horror fly type mess. I'm like, bro, this is wilding. They wilding. It turns into a horror show, but it's cute and cuddly, so I guess that helps. I guess even though Kirby is kind of like a pink puffball of despair and destruction. There is that. Um, you got to remember the psychological horror. Oh yeah, Ness. Yeah, which I'm wondering, do people really want a remake of that? I'm wondering of Earthbound because like Earthbound, yeah, I didn't play that until they released it on the Wii U, and when I played, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how I know people been clamoring for a remake of Mother 3 to come over, but I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, SK Master, what you got? Wonder how those Nintendo fans turned Xbox fans feeling about the new rumors of truth. Oh, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Um, look, to be fair, I don't. It's gonna come down to like people's personal preference. I think like me personally, I don't care. Uh, I just at this point I just don't care. I know what Microsoft is. I understand their business side of things, and they're probably just gonna try to maximize profit as much as they can.
Mm,
And there's that. Nightwolf, you are absolutely correct. People will not be able to handle Earthbound. That's why I don't understand why they be asking for it.
nah,
That's why
it,
I don't understand why
the
they be
way the
asking for
way the way Earthbound was made, the way the story works, nobody would want that.
it.
I mean, people. I can't say nobody, but the people that are begging for it would not be able to handle it if it was updated for today,
Yeah,
or they would have to change so much that it wouldn't be Earthbound anymore.
yeah, because that, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I feel about Atlas being an idiot same way you feel Cap. Oh yeah, yeah. As you say, we're making P3 low. Hey, let's just make it for the other. Yeah, Atlas is a weird company because their decision making makes no sense.
Nope, don't at all.
Like Capcom, I feel like Capcom be having like side deals with like Sony and Microsoft to not put certain stuff certain places. Kind of like what Namco Bandai did, and Namco Bandai's trying to like, look, man, we got to put stuff out because we missing out on money. That kind of situation. So I honestly think that um, I think that's why Capcom does the things they do because I will say this: Capcom doesn't go out and say this game can't run on this, but I've seen where like interviews where it was basically I ain't gonna say it was literally say it was paraphrasing that it basically it couldn't run like the whole Dragon Ball Kakarot. I remember when Fighters was said and I'm looking at Fighters, I'm like Fighters. That's the same engine that Dimps used to use. So what are what are we talking about here? So yeah, uh, Nova. I can see that. I can see that. They probably would think that. To be honest, um, especially when you get into yeah, because like I said, going back and playing those games, like they're fun. Don't get me wrong, they're fun, but I don't think people. I think it's one of those situations where, like we had with Metroid, where for so many years people claimed to have played Metroid, but when Dread dropped, they got exposed, and then when Prime dropped, they got exposed. but they but before they swore up and down they played it. I think that's the same thing that happened with Earthbound. A lot of people say they played it, but I don't think they did because there's a lot of stuff in that game that I think, especially nowadays, people can't handle. They can't handle it. They
Nope.
can't handle it. I ain't gonna try to say people are soft. I'm just gonna say they can't handle it because everything has to turn into a movement or try to cancel somebody, and like that's just not gonna happen.
I'll say it. They soft.
Yeah, Andre
They
said.
soft. 'Cause, like, we have a situation now where stuff gets taken out of video games, movies, comic books, TV shows because one person may be offended.
yeah,
Not it's going to be horribly wrong or it doesn't convey a point in the story that we're trying to tell. One person might be offended and we may have to edit things afterwards. No, you don't.
yeah. I mean,
You
I
really truly don't.
because y'all know I'm an '80s kid, so I have like Foghorn Leghorn and Pepe Le Pew DVDs of their shorts, and before they run, they put a disclaimer on there about people being offended. I'm sitting up here like, what are y'all talking about? And I remember when that whole Space Jam 2 came out, they cut the Pepe Le Pew scene, and I'm like, it's obvious that people never watched Pepe Le Pew cartoon shorts because if you watch them, yes, he does chase that cat. But the reason why that cat is running from him is because he's a skunk. He stinks. It's not because she don't like him. It's because he's a skunk. Because as soon as he gets clean and watching that water and that paint get on him, the roles always reverse. So she chases him, and he's the one running for his life because now she's being super aggressive. But when you heard people talk about it, they were like, "Oh, he's problematic," and I'm like, "How is he problematic? Did y'all not watch
People
the
forget
cartoon?"
people forget the whole context.
Yeah,
People
so
forget
they just
completely.
didn't like that he was always quote unquote forcing himself on a female, and I'm like, that's
But
not
he
what.
did the same thing to Sylvester
Yeah, but the
multiple
thing is,
times.
that's not the reason why they were running from him. Was not because they weren't like. It's not because the cat wasn't, you know, attracted to it. It was because he's a skunk.
Because everybody was afraid of him stinking everything up.
Yeah, so that right there told me I'm like, wow, and that was like 10 years ago. No, it was 2010 because I found those DVDs in 2010. I'm like, wow, really? Like that's what people saying, and then to hear LeBron say it, and I finally saw the cut scene that they did that they cut with Paper Le Pew. I'm like, y'all should have kept that in there because one, it was a one, it wasn't even a bad scene, and two, it was like all of 10 seconds, all of like 30 seconds, and he was just working at the bar. That's it. So I'm like, okay, I, whatever. That's why I'm like, yeah, this. That's why, yeah, certain stuff, yeah, they people wouldn't be able to handle it, and that's just the truth. Trinell, we're gonna talk about that next week. I'm pushing that back to next week, so I'll talk about that one
Mm.
next week. Uh,
And yeah, SK Massive, you're right. It would be a very wide awake Zelda game. It
oh
would
yeah,
be.
yeah, but this is what people claim to say they want. They want Zelda playable. I'm like, y'all said the same thing about y'all wanted Samus to talk. We got other Emma. Y'all complained.
See, I want specific versions of Zelda to be playable, like Twilight Princess Zelda. I'd like to be able to play a game with her.
Yeah, yeah.
Queen Zelda from Hyrule Warriors. I'd like to play a full game with her.
Oh, bruh, that's man. That's not a game. That's a massacre.
I look a game with her and Impa is that version of Impa is the lead characters. I'd be set. I'd be set.
Yeah.
I'd be set for a good while. Just
Well,
watching them slaughter hordes of enemies. I'd be
who would
good
you get?
for it.
So would you go? Would you get like an action team to make that? Make that a straight up action game?
Yeah, I, you wouldn't even have to make you. It could even keep the same style. It would just focus on that version of Zelda and Emperor with
Mm,
them murdering hordes of denizens of Ganondorf.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, that's the other thing too, and this is one thing I never understood about the first Hyrule Warriors game. They said it's not canon, but they introduced a character that sits outside of time that is basically can be canon and be brought in at any point in time.
Because look, they say it's not canon. That means that people don't focus on it, and then when there's a time that they want to make it canon, they just go ahead. Oh yeah, she's in there. We're good to go. The
Yeah,
game's canon now. They can travel to the multiverse for Zelda.
because they basically that's basically the like. Oh, she actually looks at every. She knows the whole line, so I'm like, okay, but she's not. Okay, yeah, whatever. Um, uh,
Look, it's an odd choice.
guys, what type of agenda that was set to have women beating up guys? Well, if we're talking about, are you talking about like Zelda? Because Zelda, that's just straight up magic. Just her magic is OP. So
Well, no, it's because people have this thing about
that women
women
can.
beating up men.
Well, first
I
of
mean,
all,
in the general, if we're going into, we're worried about real life scenarios in a fantasy story, then we're messing ourselves up.
yeah, we're messing ourselves up to begin to. Yeah, that'd be because it's a fantasy. That's number one. Uh, Number two, the people that say that half the time those guys have never been in a fight themselves
Nope, not
because
one.
there is so much more to fighting than that. Like I'll use myself as an example. I'm not gonna walk up to Michael Clark Duncan and try to fight him, brawl him. I'm going to lose. I will attack his joints and his nervous system. That way, I'll have a chance. So it's people that do that kind of talk, and I understand that there are physical differences between women and men. I understand that, but there are also stuff that you can't train on your body that you need that will mess you up if you get hit in it. Trust me, I had to
Yeah,
learn anatomy. There are so many points of your body that if you get hit one time, that's you. So, all right, let's see. Adult Midna over Zelda.
depends on which Zelda.
Yeah, it does kind of depend on which Zelda.
It depends on which Zelda. Now, I'm not saying no to adult men. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
depends
no,
on which
no.
Zelda.
I,
Just depends on
I,
which one.
yeah, like Hyrule Warriors. I got to give them props because Adult Midna Hyrule Warriors. She was, yeah, yeah. Dude. I,
Oh no. Oh no.
okay, but
That's some great
Jay,
fairies.
JB, we
Man, you
can't do
wouldn't
that, man.
survive.
The game gonna get canceled. We just had a discussion about sexualized women, man. Come on, dude.
You
And that's
wouldn't you
another
would
one.
you
I
would
remember,
not survive that encounter, man.
man. I remember when Howard Warriors came out. Like people were pissed when they showed the animation for her character when you unlocked her, and I'm like, she got clothes on.
I mean, shit, there was a lot more that you could say for the Great Fairies and Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
Oh
uh,
man,
yeah, that's what we were talking about. Actually, I mean, hell, Ganondorf was in Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, bro, the thirst was real. If you saw Facebook and Twitter,
look, Trinell, you know I make that joke here, like bone link the men and women. Everybody's trying to bone link, and
well,
they don't make no qualms about it either.
except in Tears of the Kingdom, the Gerudo warriors that are out in Hyrule, they want to smash the hero, but they don't know his link and he's too short, according to them.
They think he's supposed to be taller.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's one.
do y'all forget that y'all tower over damn near every male in the game?
Yeah. Jesus. Like hell, Bouliar is like what 7'4" or something like that.
Yeah, well, y'all tower over damn near everybody. How is the dude supposed to be taller than you?
Nightwolf, I love that about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Those two side quests where you go to the Gerudo class, bruh, that junk had me laughing.
Oh
Like
man.
these crazily strong, athletic, badass women don't know how to talk to a dude. They be scaring the hell out of the men. And the men, hey, look, though I will be completely honest, I'll be one of the main highlights sitting there. Hey, look, I'm gonna go to Gerudo Village soon.
I mean, look, I'd be following my
Just for the
boy's
look.
footsteps. I'd be following my boy's footsteps. He knew what he wanted, and he went and got
Yeah.
it.
I mean, the old boy Hudson, hey,
I'd be like, hey, yo, where you going? Like, nah, I'm going to the Gerudo. Like, are you sure? Hold on, you need a
yes.
button? Like, bro, let me come with you. We gonna make this together.
Yes, I will sit outside that village all day if I got to. So yeah, I I understand. I understand why the Hylian men in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom break their neck to try to get to the Gerudo village. I understand. I completely understand.
They be walking through fucking deserts, fucking they'll walk through a blizzard, a lightning storm that can kill you on the drop of a hat. Oh, like, bro, y'all just
Y'all, wow,
I
bro.
get,
Y'all, wow, bro. It is not that serious, but yeah, that's why that's the lighthearted stuff in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is the stuff that I love because it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious, and they have, like I said, that those two side quests are just funny as hell. Especially going to the class, you can always go to the class, but the side quest form is freaking hilarious, and both of them are. That class is awesome, man. I had to sit in on it. It better be in that movie too. There better
it
be
ain't gonna be in that movie.
class in that movie.
That is not gonna be in that movie because everybody's gonna say it's insensitive.
I'm gonna say it's hilarious if they do it right. If they do it right, I'm gonna say it's hilarious.
I mean, look, that's because you understand comedy and context.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think most. Well, nah, I can't say. I can't even say that. But I
Don't
know.
say most. Don't
Nah,
say
I
most.
can't say most because, like, yeah, they probably
Look,
would.
most people don't even understand the Amazons and DC comics. How they gonna understand the Gerudo?
They don't understand the Amazons in mythology, dude. Like Greek mythology, like Amazon, bruh. When you read what they was doing, I'm like, now that was now Nintendo made it funny. Greek mythology made it that I would be afraid. I'd be terrified of Amazon if I would have saw Amazon because I'm like, nah, y'all ain't killing me because they was what's that? The mantis, praying mantis that killed after they mate.
Yeah, praying mantis.
That's what they would do. Like depending on what you know mythology you read, like if they took it. The Amazonian women took it. They didn't take no for an answer. They ain't take no for an answer. So
Oh,
like Nintendo made
okay,
it
man.
funny. Nintendo made it funny. Greek mythology did not.
Yeah, SK Masters, fighting for both.
I think all of us would be fighting for Urbosa. Every last one of us would be fighting for Urbosa. Like, look, hey,
Like, look, only one of us could get this.
yeah,
So, square up.
you got. We gonna do this one or two ways. It's either gonna be Smash Brothers, the best 3 out of 5, or
Like, we settling it in Smash, or we squaring up.
look,
Pick
which
your
one it
poison.
is. You can only use GameCube controllers. Nah. Yeah, but I've always loved that part of of the whole Gerudo thing. I just thought that was hilarious. But yeah, if you ever read, if you ever are interested and you don't know, read up on Greek mythology about the Amazons, bruh. That okay? Yeah, nah, that no, they was ruthless with it, really ruthless. And then when like DC did it and people didn't know and they was getting mad, I'm like, okay, whatever.
That's how they actually operated. DC just watered it down.
Yeah, they watered it down. They didn't do the whole. They didn't. They did it, but didn't go in depth with it. They they did now. Like I said, Nintendo flipped it and made it funny. Like they kind of flipped it and made it funny because basically that's what the Garuda are, the Amazons, essentially. So they just flipped it and made the situation funny. But nah, that real, that was not a laughing matter. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. If anybody is playing Tekken 8, it is cross play. So I need to. I forgot to write my doggone Tekken ID down. All right, I'm gonna write my Tekken ID down. I'll throw it in the Discord and on the community tab. So if anybody wants to play, because I don't like playing online unless I'm playing with people I know. So I have no problem playing with people I know. So because I am enjoying that right now. Tekken 8 is a lot of fun, in my opinion. And I played 7 for the story. I should have bought 7. I don't know why I didn't. I should have just went on and bought it. But I am enjoying 8. So I'll write down that Tekken ID. And if anybody ever wants to go a couple rounds, just let me know. All right, Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I don't have anything special on my channel other than I just put up a Silent Play Sunday for a future Metroidvania that's going to be coming out like next year. Because they had a demo already ready on Steam
Oh,
called
okay.
Soul Devourer. So you check that out, and I'm trying to get some discussions out about some of this recent stuff. Try to throw some common sense and logic out to the world. Hopefully, it gets absorbed somewhere,
Okay.
and people can stop trying to use big words to sound intelligent and actually just speak normally.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. That was hilarious. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Hope everybody has a nice night. We will see you guys next week. Same place, same time. Peace out, people.
Peace.